License Commission meeting will come to order. Ryan, was the meeting posted properly?
Yes.
First item.
First item on our agenda would be for the minutes from the meeting of September 15th, 2016.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Minutes are approved. Next item.
Number 2 on our meeting agenda is for License Commission ratification. The issuance of special one-day licenses to sell dispense malt beverages and wine only on September 29th, 2016 to Tabitha Garnett, the catering manager for the Aramark, for events at the Allen House Gallery, 2 Solomon Way. The Provost Welcome Reception, that was Thursday, September 29th, 2016, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And an event called the Mock Trial Reception, Tuesday, October 4th, 4:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then on October 4th, an event at the O'Leary Mezzanine, 61 Wilder Street, the Community Conversation Series launch event. That's Thursday, that should be October 6th, 2016, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And Tabitha is here.
So we missed you at the last meeting. How did the events go? And what is a provost?
So there's the chancellor of the university, and then they're the second kind of in command.
Oh, another of those people down in Boston, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So there were no problems?
There was no problems.
Anybody have a comment, question?
Move approval.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes. Thank you very much.
Commission will now proceed with application for a special one-day license to sell dispense malt beverages and wines only, or either one. Allison Turcott at Mill Number 5, 250 Jackson Street, the 4th floor, Kerouac concert event for Friday, October 7th, 2016, 12 p.m. to 1 a.m. Also, Allison Turcott for event at Mill Number 5, 250 Jackson Street, 4th floor, Soleil Monday concert for Saturday, November 12, 2016, 12 p.m. to 1 a.m. And Mr. Chairman, I just want to digress on one aspect to Allison's applications, and that is number 10 on our meeting agenda. We have a communication from a couple regarding some entertainment at 250 Jackson Street, which apparently is too loud for them because they are residents at 240 Jackson Street. And I did speak with Allison just before we convened the meeting this evening to point that out to her, that we've had a communication, and I presented her a copy of that communication, and possibly the commission may want to comment on it.
So has there been entertainment there without a license, without approval?
Apparently so. There is an ongoing series of concerts at one end of the 4th floor at 250 Jackson Street.
And which end, Ms. Turcott, would that be? The theater, the Luna Theater, or the other end?
No, the opposite of the theater, right off the elevator.
Is that the hi-hat?
Mm-hmm.
So, is there a lot of sound then for the events?
We haven't had any problems with the prior events that I'm aware of. I don't run the concerts. I'm the manager of the theater, and these tasks were assigned to me, but they've all gone fine that I'm aware of.
But you're now aware of this letter from the couple next door who said they can't sleep.
Yeah, I spoke to Amelia and Jim before the meeting started, and they're working on soundproofing the elevator. It's up on the project to-do list. And they said they're willing to work with you guys to get the event or the entertainment licenses for any upcoming concerts that might be happening, including these ones.
They're working on it. Do they have an estimated time of completion?
Not that they told me, no, but I know it's in the immediate future because it's an issue.
Who ran those events in the past?
Someone does the music booking, and then a mill staff person is there to oversee it.
Who's responsible for the building?
Jim Lakulis, the developer.
Well, Mr. Lachulis ought to know he should have a license for any entertainment that he has there.
Say that again?
Mr. Lucullo should know that he needs a license for any entertainment he has there.
Okay.
Well, I guess my question is, what, do we have a plan, and where are we on that plan to make sure we don't violate the city's noise ordinance? Did you get a copy of this?
The letter or the,
No, the city noise ordinance.
I don't have one, no.
Why don't you step up and I'll give you mine? Almost lost it there. So, the complaint of noise seems valid. I mean, would this be another weekend, or another Friday and a Saturday of noise? Keeping
Yes,
them from
tomorrow's-
sleeping?
Tomorrow's is part of the citywide Kerouac events, and it's not a loud concert. They're very like low acoustic, so I don't think that one's gonna be a problem. And the next one in November is jazz music, I know. They're two jazz groups.
What's the time on that?
The jazz one or the one tomorrow night? They're both around the same time, I think, 8 p.m.
To what?
to no later than 11. Yes,
This is 12 PM to 1 AM.
just for the license, just they wanted to just cover the,
Oh, but the
Day.
concert itself
yeah,
is from 8 to when?
to no later than 11 is what I was told.
Anybody else have any questions?
I just have a comment. I know that you were just presented with this information at the meeting, so I apologize for that.
It's okay.
The couple that lives in 240 Jackson Street posted a YouTube video with the decibels of the noise from one of the concerts, and it was really, really loud. So I'm inclined to vote against any concerts in that venue until there's any soundproofing, or I know the couple is, you know, they're willing to work with you, but I just wanted to comment on that.
Okay.
Any other comments?
I just want to point out to the commission that Allison did come before you on September 1st, and she had been granted a number of beer and wine one-day licenses, approximately 12 in total. The event that is noted in the communication we received from the residents at 240 Jackson Street include the October 14th date. Allison had been granted that one-day license for that date on September 1st for beer and wine.
Does anybody have a proposal? All right, I'm going to move that we grant the 7 October license on the understanding that it's not going to be loud, and request that you return to us with your plan for Saturday, November 12th. That gives us plenty of time, and unless you're totally committed to campaigning for someone for president. So that's my motion. Approve 7 October, request a return for November 12th.
Second.
Okay, I have a move and a second. Okay. All those in favor say aye. Opposed?
Aye. Me.
All right. 3-1.
Commissioner McCarthy? No?
No.
Yeah, he's a no, 3-1.
3-1? Okay.
3-1.
Allison, understand that you have the license for tomorrow evening? You need to come by to pick it up sometime
Yes.
between 8 a.m. and 12 noon tomorrow?
Yep, Sarah Hand, I think, will be by to grab that.
Okay, thank you.
I'm looking forward to seeing you and your plan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Proceeding with the other applications for special one-day malt beverages wine only. There is an application by Gunnar Vincents for a wedding at UTEC, 35 Warren Street, for Saturday, October 15, 2016, from 4 p.m. to 10:30 p.m.
So it seems pretty straightforward. Anything we should know about this?
We will have a licensed bartender, and he will have 2 bartenders working for him. He is independently licensed, and so he is the one that will be handling all the alcohol. So we have that control in place.
And you have someone to help maintain order?
Yes, sir. I'm a Marine, or I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and I'm going to have several of my veteran friends there as well. So,
Yeah, once a Marine, always a Marine, so.
hoorah.
Anybody have any thoughts, questions? All right, moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes. I hope the couple has a wonderful life.
Thank you very much.
And finishing up now with the application for malt beverages and wine one day, Tabitha Garnett, catering manager of the Aramac.
Before we deal with Tabitha, although you're invited to come up, Samantha Kale of Hypertext Bookstore was seeking a license and can't make it, I understand.
Yeah, apparently, she emailed me late this afternoon. Ms. Kale is stating that there was a family emergency that does not allow her to be here this evening. And so it was her understanding that were an applicant not being present, their application would not possibly be acted upon by the board.
So I'm seeking the advice of the board. It would seem to me that we could, for an operation that does not look particularly dangerous to us, the Hypertext Bookstore on 107 Merrimack, that we could approve this with the understanding that Samantha Kale would return to us at our next meeting. And we could deal with this, but that would give her space to maneuver to make this happen. Does anybody else have any thought?
Are we familiar with her, any prior applications?
No, Samantha is, apparently her business has been in operation for probably less than a year, 6 months. And I've had some application from her for a sidewalk stand permit for the Folk Festival weekend, but there was never a follow-up on that because whatever her circumstances were at that time. Otherwise, this would be her first application for a one-day beer and wine license.
I've been inside the store, looked around, spent some time there in the cafe. It seemed like it was on the up and up.
What is a monster bash? Mr. Chairman.
I would assume that they're selling monster books. There may be people, though, that dress up like us and are looked down as monsters.
Can the board vote to continue this for the next meeting and put it on the agenda?
Yes.
All right.
And make a
Make
motion
a
for that?
motion. All right.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Moving on, it goes to the next. All right, Tabitha.
Now starting again with Tabitha, who has 3 applications. First event is the Allen House Gallery at 2 Solomon Way, Nursing Department Anniversary, Saturday, October 15, 2016, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. A second application for an event at the University Crossing at 260 at 220 Pawtucket Street, University Entrepreneurship Celebration, Wednesday, October 19th, 4:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. And the third application is, again, back at the Allen House Gallery, the Model on Reunion, Sunday, October 23rd, 2016, 12 noon to 4 p.m.
So you've had licenses before.
I have a few.
The Model Un, I mean, that makes...
UN.
The what?
UN.
Oh, Model UN, all right, I was thinking
United
of
Nations?
Kim
Yeah.
Jong-un. That, and I didn't know
I'll move
how.
approval.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Tabitha, you've got
Thank
it.
you.
Who made the motion? Thank you. Commission will now proceed with number 4 on the meeting agenda. Public hearing continued from September 15, 2016, on the application by Mariachi Foods, Inc., doing business as El Potro Mexican Grill, Joseph M. Carrero Jr., Director, Manager. All alcoholic beverage restaurant licensee at 124 Merrimack Street for a new officer director, transfer of stock, and legal notice had been published Friday, September 2nd, 2016, in the Lowell Sun newspaper. Members of the commission, also noted in this item is the commission may or will vote on whether to enter into executive session to comply with and/or act under the authority of Mass General Law, Chapter 6, Section 172. Mr. Chairman, I would just recommend to the board that I have something to offer the board, and I would respectfully ask the board to consider voting to go into executive session with the intent of returning to regular session upon the conclusion of the executive session.
Anyone want to move to go to executive session?
Make a motion to go to executive session.
Call the roll.
I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Krieger? I'm sorry?
And return back here to our regular.
Yes, yes. Commissioner Krieger? Commissioner McCarthy?
Yes.
Commissioner Howe?
Yes.
Commissioner Donahue? Yes. That's 4 yeas.
Ryan, proceed.
Mr. Commissioner Krieger, respectfully request the commission to consider going back into regular session by vote of roll call. Motion by? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Commissioner Krieger? Yes. Commissioner McCarthy? Yes. Commissioner Howe? Yes. Commissioner Donahue? Yes. Yes, okay. So the matter before the board now is the public hearing filed on on the matter of an application filed by Mariachi Foods, Inc., doing business El Potro Mexican Grill, Joseph M. Carrera Jr., Director Manager, all alcoholic beverage restaurant licensee at 124 Merrimack Street, for new officer director, transfer of stock. The application had been published in the Lowell Sun newspaper Friday, September 2nd, and it did not require applicant to notify abutters. This is a public hearing, and abutters, public may offer comment at.
Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Joseph Carrero. I'm the Director and Business Manager for Mariachi Foods Incorporated.
Everything's in order and you're ready to roll?
We're ready to roll. Everything is in order. The application has been pending in our other two locations in Somerville and Malden. They both were approved without objection by your respective peers in those municipalities. This is simply just a transfer of stock back to the original family owners of the corporation, and there's really nothing more to say about it than that.
Okay, so this is a public hearing, so I'm going to open, anybody want to speak in favor? Speak in favor? Speak in favor? No, I close that portion. Anybody want to speak against this? Against? Anyone against? I close that portion of the public hearing. Do I have a motion or questions?
Move approval?
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Commission, I open a public hearing on the application. This being number 5 on the meeting agenda, which is on the second side, on the back side of your agenda. Public hearing on the application by the Liquor Shack, Inc. Then Sang Chim is the president for the transfer of the all-alcoholic beverages package store license from corporation known as Joe and Nye, Inc., doing business as R&M Liquors. Michael J. Rodriguez is the president for premises at 815 Lakeview Avenue. One unnumbered door, first floor, 1 room, 2 rooms for storage, 1,200 square feet, basement, 2 rooms for storage. It is requested that Then Sang Chim be approved as manager of record for the Liquor Shack, Inc.
Good evening. Attorney Catherine Flood, here on behalf of the Liquor Shack, Inc. Here with me today is Timmy Cheen and Joanna Rodriguez. She is the president and treasurer of Joni, Inc., who is requesting the transfer of the license.
Quick addresses, names and addresses.
Go ahead, Mike. Yeah. Oh, Joanna Rodriguez. And my business address or my personal?
Your choice.
Okay, 16 Shady Lane, Nashua, New Hampshire is my residence. And 815 Lakeview Avenue is my business.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tian Sang Chim, you call me Timmy. My address is 60 Farm Pond Road, Dracut, Mass.
Okay. Attorney Flood, would you like to say a few words, or?
Yes, we're here to request the transfer. Timmy has grown up working, well, a couple of years for his parents who own a package store also in Lowell, so he is familiar with how to run a package store. He has also had the opportunity to go in and work with Joanna, or shadow her, see the workings of her package store prior to entering into this transaction.
Has Mr. Chim had training in this area?
I believe most of the training is on-site training with his family as to how to check identification, what to look for, what's valid, what's not. Correct, Timmy?
Okay. Anybody have any questions before we open the meeting? So it's a public meeting. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of this motion?
Do you want to speak?
In favor? I thought maybe Attorney Rossetti was about to raise his hand there, but apparently not. In favor? Are you going to speak in favor?
I'm going to speak in favor. My name's Sandra McNamara. I'm president of Centerville Community Coalition and also a retired health inspector. So I'm very familiar with the School Street establishment. That goes very well. They have all the update. They have the video footage of everything that goes on in the store and ID thing and all of that type stuff. So I'm pretty sure that Lakeview Ave will be just as great, if not better. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
We still have all that information. Yes.
Anyone else to speak in favor? Anyone in opposition? Opposition? Opposition. The public hearing is closed. The commission?
Move approval.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's passed. Congratulations.
Great job.
We don't want to
Attorney
see you
Flood.
again.
Thank
Attorney
you.
Flood, great job.
Thank you. Have a nice night.
Thank
Thank you.
I'm not going to break any records.
Bill, you can go right downstairs for lunch.
Commission will now proceed with the sixth item on our meeting agenda, this being a public hearing on the application by an entity known as Lowell, LLC, doing business as Louis. Jonathan Joe is manager of the LLC for an all-alcoholic beverage restaurant license for premises at 11 Kearney Square, first floor, 3,750 square feet, 7 rooms, 1 entrance, 2 exits, proposed seating 128, proposed occupancy 150. It is requested that Jonathan Joe be approved as the manager of record for Louis Lowell LLC. Members of the commission, there had been a legal notice published in the Lowell Sun newspaper, and abutters were required to be notified by the applicant. There is proof of the notices sent to the abutters and an affidavit signed by Jonathan as well to attest to the sending of notices to the abutters.
Mr. Jew, could you give us your name and your address, please?
My name is Jonathan Jew, and my address is 218 School Street, Boylston, Mass. 01505.
Okey-doke.
Mr. Chairman, before we get started with the public, I just wanted to make a disclosure. My law office is on the second floor of 11 Kearney Square, so I believe I can be fair and impartial. I just wanted to disclose that to you.
Thank you. Would you like to tell us what you're doing? I'm assuming Louis is not going to be an Italian place like Louis up in Nashua.
No, Louis is for Louisiana, and we have one other restaurant in Stoneham, Massachusetts. We opened earlier this year in the beginning of February, and we've had a lot of customers from Lowell. We saw that a lot of customers were using the Jean d'Arc credit union card, and we looked up where that was coming from. We're getting a lot of those cards, and they're all coming from Lowell. And so we're like, okay, let's look for a location in Lowell. And we found one. We're going to do the same concept. It's a fast casual, Louisiana-style boil seafood restaurant. And it's a little bit bigger than the one we have in Stoneham, but we'll just do the same concept in Lowell.
And yourself, Mr. Jew, you've managed before?
Yes, I trained in the Stoneham location, and I'll be doing the same over here.
Have you been tip certified?
No, not tip certified.
Okay. I think you should consider that. Anybody else have any questions?
Is there going to be entertainment here?
No, well, we'll have maybe like 2 or 3 televisions, but
Oh, okay.
that's about it.
Okay, thank you.
The public meeting, is there anyone here to speak in favor? In favor? In favor. No one to speak in favor. We close that portion and go to anyone in opposition. Opposition? Opposition. Close that portion. The commission? Any other questions? Move?
No. Move approval. Seconded.
All right, moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And like I say, you might consider the tips course,
Yes, sir.
just to be square. Oh, as you wander off, let me ask you this. How late are you going to be open at night?
Well, our Stoneham location, we close at 10:30. We have we're allowed to be open till, I believe, 1 a.m., but the town kind of dies down a little bit quieter earlier in the evening, so we'll probably do the same. Open till 11 or 12, but if we see that things are slowing down, then we may.
You could save money by not being open till 1.
Right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Good
much.
luck.
Thank you.
Oh, Jonathan, I just wanted to point out, you do have an option on an earlier legal closing time. The maximum is 2 a.m. You
Yes.
can have a legal closing time of 1 a.m. or 12 midnight, or 11 p.m. for that matter, and you would pay a fee less than the maximum. So I can forward that information to you in an email.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good luck. Thank you.
Members of the commission, our next item, number 7, is the public hearing that had been continued by the board from September 15, 2016, regarding the allegations of misconduct discharged by William M. Taylor, the superintendent of police, against Mill City Ballroom, Inc., doing business as Mill City Ballroom, Joel Essadorian, manager, all alcoholic beverage restaurant licensee at 74 Merrimack Street, as set out in Superintendent Taylor's communication dated August the 9th, 2016. The board had anticipated, by continuing the next meet to this date, October 6th, that there would be a witness who was not at the last meeting on September 15th, but is, from what I understand, is now here. Mr. Derek Sawyer?
Is Mr. Derek Sawyer here?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
And
Mr. Essadorian?
Joel Essadorian.
Yeah, would you introduce yourself and give us your address, please?
Joel Essadorian, 91 Hall Road, Londonderry, New Hampshire.
All right. At this time, would you like the complaint read out or
No.
not? Okay. So the the story is failure to maintain order and decorum, failure to notify the police department. Did you notify the police department?
No, I wasn't there that evening. Also, we had felt like we were just pulling somebody out of the place. We didn't realize if there, that there was anything to report at that point.
And you didn't notify the License Commission?
Yes, we did notify the License Commission.
Okay. So give us your side of the story, and then we'll ask Mr. Sawyer.
Earlier in the evening, well, the evening started, we had a permit. It was a rock and roll event that was there. There was a lot of use of the back door, getting equipment and things along those lines up. After speaking with security, the patron was asked to leave. He had a problem with one of the bartenders that we had there. He left. He was seen coming back up. He was being escorted out. They're saying that there was an altercation in the back hall, and he left. He ended up leaving through the back door, which I'm being told is how he got back in. And then came back later in the evening, trying to get back in again through the front door. He said he had left some stuff behind. He was yelling, saying, get the bartender that he supposedly had the altercation with out here. I'm going to kick his butt, using other words. And finally, he just left. We weren't aware the bartender had already left as well. We weren't aware of any report until later.
It seems odd that you misplaced a bartender.
What had happened was the bartender used to be part of security. His parents are all state police. Really good guy. And he was cut from the bartending, and he was asked to watch the back door because what had actually happened earlier in the night, one of the band members had gotten very hurt coming up and down the stairs in the back. And this incident happened immediately after that. There was, we had called an ambulance. Somebody had fell down the back stairs. Bringing up equipment and things along those lines. There was apparently a lot of activity in the back hallway. And we also reported that as well to the commission. In the same report. So they had just wrapped up over there. It was slower evening, but we were concerned because, we were trying to shuffle people along through the back hall. And someone had just fallen and had gotten a pretty serious injury from falling in the back. So they had pulled him off of the bar and put him to watch the back stairwell.
Anybody have any questions at this point?
Who's the manager of the establishment when you're not there?
My sister is.
Was she there that night?
She was.
Is she here?
She is not. I had everyone here at the last meeting, and I think they all corroborated what was going on. I brought the guy that showed the doorman that didn't let him back in, the guy who escorted him out originally, and they had all testified then. And I think we were just running late, and you guys wanted to move it to the next meeting.
Is it often that you cut your bartender staff back?
If we're slow.
Security?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If we're slow, absolutely. Absolutely. We prepare for a busy night, and If it's not, then we'll end up cutting staff for sure. It's definitely common practice.
Thank you.
Mr. Sawyer, please step up, give us your name and your address.
My name is Derek Sawyer. I live at Floyd Street in Lowell. 44 Floyd Street.
Okay.
And the Fifth Amendment.
Does anyone how are we going to swear Mr. Sawyer in? Anyone bring a form, a Bible? Oh, I'm going to do it. Hold your right hand up. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, all truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. There is, of course, your Fifth Amendment right to say nothing. But now that you're sworn in, and we expect you to give the straight story. Tell us the story.
So, like Joel did say, there was a rock concert that night, and I am heavily influenced by rock music. It's all I listen to, and I was friends with some of the band members that were playing that evening. And I had no plans, so I went down and enjoyed the rock concert. I was there for about maybe half hour or so, maybe an hour. It was a long day. It started, I believe, 1 p.m. and was going to last all night. And I got a little bored and a little tired. I worked early that evening, or the morning, so I left and went, got coffee, and came back, enjoyed a couple more bands, had a beer or two, left, met up with a friend of mine for more coffee. So I just kept coming back in, and afterwards I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go watch these bands. So I left my friend, and I was like, I'm going to go watch these bands because these are the bands that my friends were in. So I left and went back to Joel's establishment, Mill City. And as I'm too old for like mosh pits and stuff like that, so I stand in the back and I enjoy the music. So I go up and the bar was full, so I walked up to the bartender who I had the altercation with earlier or later that evening, but I ordered a drink off him. Kept it very professional. He handed me a drink, I gave him my money, gave him my change, left a tip, went back to enjoy the music. A couple hours later, I get a text message from a friend of mine who he was dating about a year ago, but now they're split up, and with all kinds of false accusations. Oh, why are you saying this to Vinny? Why are you saying this? And I was like, I'm not. Where's this coming from? She's like, he just texted me flipping out, saying you were running your mouth, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I ordered a beer and I walked away, and that's all. So she's like, all right, I'll talk to him. And I was like, you know what? To keep out of trouble, I'm going to avoid that bartender at all costs for the rest of the night, and I'm just going to go on the complete opposite end of the bar. And that's exactly what I did. I started ordering drinks from a female bartender that was working and a different younger guy. And the rest of the night went smoothly, enjoyed the show. So I was like, all right, I'm going to grab another drink. So I grabbed another drink a couple hours later. And as she's handing it to me, I go to hand my money, and his bartender, Derek, was like, that's all set. You don't have to pay for it. We got to talk. And I was like, no thanks. This doesn't sound good. So I left my money and I started walking away. He's like, no, we're talking. So he comes around the bar and kind of escorts me to this back hallway. And we go down these stairs, and right where the back door is, he starts at first talking aggressively, but talking nonetheless. A lot of false accusations. There was a lot of he said, she said stuff. He was accusing me of trying to hook up with his ex-girlfriend, who was a friend of mine, blah, blah. It was just he was an angry man for absolutely no reason. So I tried telling my part, and he didn't get it. So at that point, I just kind of gave up and started being sarcastic, and he started swinging. And once he started swinging, he's a much bigger guy than I am, so I went down. The second I went down, he jumped on my back, got me in a chokehold, and just started hitting and hitting and hitting. As he was on top of me, hitting me, he kept making threats, death threats. Come back again, I'll kill you. Come back again, I'll kill you. He's like, you're leaving, you're leaving. I was like, no, I'm not. Like, this is a public place. And I'm trying to catch my breath every chance I had. And finally, he picks me up, puts me against the door, and he's like, you come back in here again, I will kill you. And he pushes me out and shuts the door behind me. So I immediately took pictures on my phone, which I do still have on my phone, sent them to my friend Jess, and I was like, look, your ex-boyfriend just attacked me for absolutely no reason. Fair warning, I'm going to the cops. And so I walked home, and my family, my mother and my sister, seen how I looked, and they immediately got, excuse my, well, I was gonna curse, but they immediately got upset, and they drove me back down there to get my stuff, because during the attack, I had a hat there, I had a CD I bought, bumper sticker and stuff. There was a couple things I had, so I was like, I want my stuff. I'm not going there by myself. So they drove me down there, and I walked up to the front door, and I was like, hey, I got stuff here. Can I go get it? They're like, no. I was like, oh, we're closing. All right. Can you guys go get it? I'll tell you right where it is. It's right on the amp, east side of the stage, blah, blah, blah. So he's like, yeah, all right. Gentleman that was at the door went up, grabbed my stuff, came back down and gave it to me. I was like, what about a hat? I had a Bruins hat. And he's like, yeah, there was no hat there. I was like, oh, I know. It fell off my head when I was being attacked by one of your employees in the back hallway where there's no cameras. I was like, can you go back there and get it? So he's like, nope, sorry, no hat there. And he just shut the door on me. And I was like, oh, lovely. So I went back home, and I was there for about a half hour. Then I started getting the spins real bad, so I was like, I gotta go to the hospital in case I had a concussion or something. So I went to the hospital, and while I was at the hospital, Jess must have called the cops because I didn't call the cops yet. And the cops just showed up, and I gave my report exactly how I witnessed it, exactly how it happened.
Does anybody have a question for Mr. Sawyer?
I do. What were your injuries? Did you have a concussion?
I had a slight concussion, but I had no major injuries. There was nothing broken. Bumps and bruises. I had 2 black eyes. I had cuts all over my face. Cuts on my back, which I found strange because he was on top of my back, so I don't really know how I got that. I had a huge bruise on the side of my neck that kind of resembled a hickey, I guess, but it was kind of gross nonetheless. And I work as a car salesman, so even when I buttoned my shirt up all the way, it didn't hide it. It was very unprofessional and upsetting. So I took a couple days out of work until at least that part healed. So,
Do you still have any pain from the injuries?
I do not. After the night I was in the hospital, well, when I went to the hospital that evening, a few hours later, Jess woke up and seen the pictures I sent her. So she texted him, and he replied back to her, and she screenshotted all the messages and sent them to me as proof if a day like this ever came up, which I do have, and it's messages of him admitting attacking me for absolutely no reason, and him admitting that he lied and tried hiding it. And as well as I'm aware, Joel was not. I believe you were in the Caribbean or something. You were on a vacation or something. He was not there. A friend of mine used to work for him, or does work for him. And when she seen what happened to me, she contacted him and told him what happened. And while the day or so was happening, the whole bar was trying to change their story of what happened.
Do you still have a restraining order against Mr. Iorita?
I
Did
do
you have
not.
one?
I just avoid that place at all costs. I have no reason to go in there anymore, especially after that, knowing he still works there. It's not something I want to be near.
Anyone else?
For the record, what is the name of the person that allegedly hit you?
I, as well as many of the employees at Mill City and people that know him as Vinny. His name is Derek. I have no idea how to pronounce his last name. I'll be completely honest with you.
Do the best you can, if you know it.
Ithra, something like that. It's.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I have no idea how to pronounce it. But first name is Derek. Last name starts, I believe, with an I. Most people know him as Vinny.
All right.
If you heard the name, would you recognize it?
Yes, I would.
I'm going through the record, yeah. Mr. Irahita?
That is it.
Okay. No other questions?
I have another.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you have a case, have you been notified by the district attorney's office that you will be appearing in court as a result of this incident?
I have been in contact, or they've been in contact with me, and I've been receiving letters saying, Derek has court this day, it's this type of thing, whether pre-trial, trial, et cetera. You do not have to go, but you're more than welcome to, blah, blah, blah. But I plan on going to the actual trial.
But you haven't been notified of a date yet for that?
I'm sorry?
You haven't been notified of a trial date?
I have not yet.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Asadorian?
I have no ill will towards this, towards the individual here. You know, we have people that work at our place that are friends with Derek as well. He's not a bad person. I do believe that this is a case of he said, she said. In this particular case, I think Derek said that he did have, he was talked to about leaving earlier in the night. And he did come back. I mean, I feel like there's some holes in both of their stories on it, to be fair. And I would say, I would ask that we don't make a decision as to what was right or wrong. He did say himself that he was asked to leave at the end of the, you know, I was just thinking about the responsibility at the end of the day. He did say he was brought back. The door was there. He was asked to leave. He said no. You know, he wanted to, this is a public place. I can stay here. And that leads to me thinking that he probably was trying to not leave when he was being told to leave. And I think that's where the responsibility of where we are lies. He was asked to leave earlier in the evening, and he did also say, which I wasn't aware of, that he was a friend of one of the band members there, and I was not aware of that until right now. But that is where they were bringing up and down equipment on that, in that area over there. Personally, I don't like to see anyone get hurt. Again, I wasn't there. I don't know if he fell there. I don't know if he got hurt somewhere else. I do know that he definitely did come back and was, you know, I have 3 or 4 people saying that he came back. He was angry. He was asking for Vinny, not just his hat and stuff. So I think we were just trying to avoid a problem all around in that circumstance. And I do know that Vinny is a, you know, like I said, his parents are state police. He's a stand-up gentleman. And I did have 3 other corroborating people that, you know, almost work into this story. Again, I wasn't there, but it does seem like he did have something. He was asked to leave at the minimum, Vinny alone, right? But he was, you know, everybody in the place that he was asked to leave, you know. When he did send me the text, I was like, I don't know, I wasn't there, is he okay? I was concerned about him. And like I said, we had just dealt with somebody falling on the stairs in the back hallway, just literally 10 minutes before that, where we had called, you know, paramedics and stuff. So it is easy to fall down the back stairs. It's a huge stairwell, and it is easy to get hurt there.
Are you doing anything to fix that? To make it safer?
We have someone at the door now. I think we talked about that at the last meeting as well. We have someone that constantly monitors that door. I think in this particular case, band members were taking a lot of stuff out there, and we have identified the back door as a potential way for people to get in, and just that we don't want there. So we have that constantly monitored, and we've taken precautions with any of the barbacks that throw out garbage through the back and that to make sure. We actually did re-secure the door. The door was priable for a little while to be able to get it open. We did re-secure the door. We actually just straightened out the hinges and stuff. It was a little off tilt in the back. So we have done a lot to make sure that that back door is secure, especially in light of recent events.
Secretary Wynn, were we notified in writing or report on this incident? Were you notified, Mr. Asadorian, of this incident?
Commissioner McCarthy, I'm not certain of that. There had been 2 emails sent to my attention by Mr. Asadorian in recent weeks. I'd had not followed up on that to make sure what they were from and what dates it's possible.
This is from May. This is actually from May, I believe.
You're agreeing that Derek Erahita, Vinny, is an employee, or was an employee on that night of the Mill City, right?
Earlier in the evening, yes, and then he was just.
But he worked for you?
Correct.
Thank you.
I don't have any questions, I just have some comments. I vividly recall the testimony of Mr. Irahita at the last hearing, and I found him to be not credible at all. And I found his demeanor to be brazen and obnoxious. And I find Mr. Sawyer to be very credible. So at the last hearing, I wasn't ready to say there was an actual assault and battery, but I think the 4 things that are listed by the police here, failure to maintain order and decorum, failure to notify the police, commission of assault and battery, and permitting a disturbance, I think they've all been violated.
Mr. Asadorian, what
Well,
are your
the-
hours there? You open every night or is it just
We're open every night, yes.
upstairs, the ballroom's open every night?
Yes, yes. We do events throughout the week, all week. Yeah.
Okay, we are in agreement that Mr. Sawyer, by the time he got to the hospital, had a couple of swollen eyes. He was bruised, blood on his face, and a good-sized lump on the right side of his forehead. You're aware of that? I mean, that's in the police report.
It's in the police report, yes.
And
I did read the police report.
you see it as credible.
I don't know if, well, all I have is the third party. We literally have 2 people that are saying different stories. But in addition to the 2 people that are saying different stories, I don't know where he was. I have people saying that literally and he even said that he was asked to leave prior to this. So I don't know where he obtained the bruises or how he got them 100%.
Yeah, thank you.
Also, I would like to say, I did notify them about this. I got a call saying.
Them. Who is them?
Anytime there's something that I'm aware of, I give Ryan Wynn an email to forward to the appropriate places.
Yeah, I think that we need to be clear that you need to reach out to the police and to Ryan Wynn, both. Don't count on Ryan to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Mr. Wynn, what's the status of Mill City Ballroom? They're under a punishment right now, some in abeyance. Can you sum that up for us?
At the present time, Mill City Ballroom is closed. The suspension started on Friday, September 30th, 2016. And an initial decision of the board was, on a first decision of the board, was to suspend the license 10 days, hold the 3 days in abeyance, and then to have 7 days of the 10-day suspension to be served effective 9/30/2016, September 30th. In addition to those 7 days, there had been a 5 days suspension held in abeyance from a decision of the License Commission back in March 2016. Those days were added to the 7-day suspension. So at present, based on that decision, of the allegations, actually the findings of the board from the event of August the 7th, 2016, suspension is September 30th, 2016 to October 12th, 2016. In addition, there had been a second decision of the commission, which a 5-day suspension is to be served effective 10/12/2016 to 10/17/2016. And this was an action the commission had found the licensee in violation of the event of June 26, 2016. So at present, the licensee is to be closed through and including the date of October 17, 2016. In addition, last but not least, there is 2 day suspension that's been held in abeyance to calendar year 2017, September of 2017. So the licensee is serving a suspension to October 17th and has 5 days in abeyance till September 2017.
So that'd be 5 days total in suspense, right?
In abeyance at the moment.
In abeyance, all right. What does the board want to do?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend an additional 5 days suspension to be served after, or starting on the 18th of October. I find a very serious incident. I'm concerned about employees assaulting patrons. If things get to a certain point and then customer is not abiding by the request of the staff, the police are available to take care of troublemakers, I think, and not to take it upon themselves to give someone a beating.
I'll second that motion. And I want to say, Mr. Asadorian, you weren't there, so what you really have to us here is hearsay from your employees, and I think your employees are out of control over there. They can't be assaulting people in the establishment. There's ways to take care of that. You know that, I know that. That wasn't done here. And it was probably because you weren't available that night.
If I may just point out to the commission, I know you just rendered a decision. You've got a second, Commissioner Donohue's motion to suspend the license for 5 days, or is that intended to use the days that are in abeyance to be served, or in addition?
No, this would be just on this complaint alone. I'm not moving
just a
the
5-day suspension.
5-day suspension.
Irrespective, you're not
Not moving on the 5 days that are in abeyance, no.
So if I just may, on that, with respect to the calendar, when you send out a notice of decision to the licensee upon its receipt, the licensee has 5 days in which to file an appeal to the Alcohol Beverages Control Commission. Today is October 6th. The earliest a notice of decision could be mailed out, it'd be Tuesday, October the 11th. And that's all considering drafting the notice of decision and having the law department review it and then sending it. So having this, it's relatively close time frame. And I would just suggest board might want to allow a little bit more time for this suspension to take effect.
Okay, so Ryan, what do you see as the possible window, given the time it takes to complete the paperwork?
If I may just say to the commission, if the 5 days to be served by the licensee would be, say, for Thursday, October 20th, effective Thursday, October 20th, and 20th, the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and the 24th. Only for that reason, for the time frame that gives the licensee the option to file an appeal on the written decision, once it's been drafted and sent to the licensee.
Mr. Donahue, Commissioner
May I
Donahue, is that
comment?
good with you?
May I comment?
Just a second. Is that good with you?
If he's going to say anything about an appeal of the decision, that may make
All right.
the effective date.
Go ahead, Mr. Asadorian.
I would just respectfully request that the board, if the board could do 3 days, you guys, we've effectively already been shut down for, we're effectively being shut down for 3 weeks already, even though it doesn't show 3 weeks. Obviously, our busier days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I would ask that if the board could do 3 days to be served, I can guarantee the board that I'm not going to be doing an appeal. I wouldn't appeal it and could move forward without any concerns on that matter. We're currently, in the process of trying to work out transfer paperwork, and it could potentially be a problem. We are required to keep up with bills and try to get through the next 60 days.
I still say the 5-day suspension, but I'll go along with Mr. Nguyen's recommendation of become effective on
October 20th?
October 20th.
The seconder, how do you feel?
I agree.
Roll call? Do you want
We need a roll call?
Commissioner Krieger?
Yes?
Commissioner McCarthy?
Yes.
Commissioner Howe?
Yes.
Commissioner Donahue?
Yes.
That's 4 yeas.
Thank you, Mr. Sawyer. Thank you, Mr. Asadorian.
Proceeding with the item number 8 on the meeting agenda, we have an application filed by an LLC known as Alexander LLC, Alexi Torres, who is the LLC manager, for an all-alcoholic beverage restaurant license for premises at 179 Central Street, first floor, 2 rooms, 1,600 square feet, 2 entrances, 2 exits, 200 square feet for patio, deck, and outdoor area. Actually, it's the outdoor area. For the board's consideration and ratification of the publication of the legal notice that would be published in the Lowell Sun newspaper on Friday, October 7th, in the Lowell Sun, and it would be a public hearing to be held on this application for October 20th, 2016 at 6:30 p.m. Members of the commission, just pointing out that the attorney that represents Alexander LLC is out of the country at the present time. There is at least one item I need to have with that application, or it should be included with the application, as far as interest is concerned, business interest, and I will email to the attorney that request in anticipation that it would be available to the board before the scheduled hearing of, proposed hearing of October 20th.
Anybody have any comments? Motion to go on 20 October? Favor, say aye.
Done. Okay.
Passes. We're happy with the 20th, assuming the paperwork is complete.
Yeah. So this motion by Commissioner Donahue, second by McCarthy? Okay.
Item 9.
And number 9 on our meeting agenda is the review of communications from William M. Taylor, the Superintendent of Police. First is dated September 29th, 2016, regarding allegations of misconduct on September 1st, 2016, against the licensee known as Akshar Sales Corporation, doing business as Chuck's Variety. Himanshu Patel, manager, malt beverage and wine only package store licensee at 641, 643 School Street. This was in conjunction with the Lowell Police Department's compliance check. And there is a second notice from the superintendent, also dated September 29, 2016, regarding allegations of misconduct on September 23, 2016, regarding the Middle Street Village, Inc., doing business as Village Smokehouse, Alan F. Kaplan, manager, all alcoholic beverages restaurant licensee at 9298 Middle Street. Members of the commission, you may want to consider on this particular notice of the review of the letter from the superintendent with respect to the manner in which it was determined that the individuals underage had received their alcohol. I point out to the board that there may be cause to have these witnesses or individuals who are underage brought before you to give eyewitness testimony.
I think you're right, and I think we should make that happen. So you're recommending we cover these on the 20th of October?
You could have it as soon as the 20th, I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, one of them is the 1st of September. It's getting kind of old. Anybody want to move for the 20th for these two items?
I just have one question.
Go ahead.
Deputy, you'll be able to have those people here? Or that person?
We'll make every attempt. I don't see why there would be any difficulty.
Okay.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approved. Very good. Number 10.
And just for the record, there is the communication from Elena Vanskoskava and Randy Matthew, 240 Jackson Street, dated September 30th, 2016, regarding entertainment at 250 Jackson Street, which is too loud for residents at 240 Jackson Street. And that's something we had just discussed with Allison Turcott.
Should we place that letter on file?
Yes.
I would like to move that the executive secretary return the letter, or write a return letter stating that we discussed this, pointing out that it's a police matter with a possible fine, and ask them, tell them what we did, and ask them to feel free to talk to us again.
Sure.
Is that okay with everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Any- Anybody want to move adjournment?
Move to adjourn. Seconded.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye. All opposed. The meeting's adjourned.